Hi, and welcome to Fortnite Storytime. It's the most annoying thing that you'll ever see, or most annoying genre at least, that you'll see on YouTube. So, this is a story about a challenge location, and it is in solos. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this season yet, let me fill you in. There are these things called fort bites. There's one right here. You can't see it because it's replay mode. And they're basically like the battle stars in previous seasons, so you have to go to certain locations in order to get them. However, this one it requires you to be there at a certain time of day. It says specifically that you have to be there during daytime. Now, you would think that this is daytime, but according to them, apparently not. So, starting out here. So, introducing our characters that we have currently, we have Maven, who is this one right here. We have the White Tiger, who's that one. We have Jonesy, and we have Diva. So far, no one has hit anyone. There's some crouching, some dancing, some excitement from Jonesy. So fast forwarding a little bit, and we have Sentinel come in, and Ramirez. Ramirez is a really important part of the story, so remember her. Slow this down a little bit. So there's some crouching, indicating friendliness, and everybody just kind of hangs out. Diva goes to collect materials because they're on a pretty high mountain, as you can see. So in order to get down, you kind of need or at least want materials. Surprisingly enough, almost everyone has the hula hoop emote. So everybody's all friendly and nice and hanging out, emoting, spraying, having a grand old time. And then Maven jumps off. She does survive, surprisingly. She just slides down the mountain. Now she goes to paradise and promptly dies. Just just accepting that. So watching White Tiger kind of closely here. He starts waving. Diva comes over and waves to him, and he's dead. He's gone. Disconnected, not like, killed. So that starts this. Sentinel is over here crying, and Ramirez comes in and just starts pickaxing him for no reason. Everybody just immediately freaks out because this is kind of a betrayal. Everybody's all freaked out. So Diva immediately starts backing away and she goes off the mountain for weapons. And Sentinel soon follows, but Jonesy stays up top and fights Ramirez for a while. Ramirez, as you can see, is jittering around a little bit. She was lagging quite a lot, and due to that, Jonesy is able to get a decent amount of hits on her. So Ramirez retreats down the mountain, leaving Jonesy to do the conga up here on his own. Yeah. So Sentinel and Diva are down here hanging out. They're dancing to show each other that they're friendly and destroying stuff, while Jonesy continues to practice his building up here. Now Ramirez goes down here, and she loots this area, which has already been looted and doesn't have a whole lot of guns in it. Ignore that sound. That's the sound of the zone in sped up form. Sentinel and Diva are down there getting along just fine. They collect some weapons, and Diva goes in to loot the full house, where Sentinel grabs a driftboard and comes back to join Jonesy, who is at this point just running around like a maniac. Jonesy is a little bit hesitant at first because Sentinel now has weapons and a mode of transportation, so he hides down here for a minute. But Sentinel shows he's friendly by dancing, and the two of them start to get along fine. Jonesy starts building here, and Sentinel gives him a round of applause. Meanwhile, Ramirez is down here. That little blip wasn't hacking, she just went out of the play zone for a second. Now you can tell here that she's really lagging. So she goes over here. Now this is a pivotal part in our story, because up here is a knockback pistol. Now, the knockback pistol, when it's fired, it shoots the user back, but it also shoots the person it hits back. So, like the victim of the bullet. So, that's a really important part of our story. So, Ramirez picks up this weapon, almost immediately heads back to the mountain. By now, Diva is making her way back up again. She's visiting friends. They're having a good time, just hanging out. They do some dancing. The mountain looks like an art exhibit at this point. Diva drops some bandages and a shield potion in case they need it. And Ramirez is down here using a campfire to heal the damage that Jonesy did when she attacked Sentinel. So Ramirez comes back, and despite having betrayed them in the past, everybody seems marginally okay. Obviously, Sentinel is a little more iffy about her because he was the one that took the most damage in that fight. And here's where we're going to slow it down a bit. This is where things get interesting. So as you can see, Ramirez is still lagging quite a lot. But you can tell that she's planning something because she's staying on the outer edge and she keeps standing still and plotting and standing still and plotting. Sentinel's looking up, and bam. Ramirez gets shot this way, but Sentinel gets shot off the cliff. So Sentinel dies almost instantly. But what Ramirez doesn't know is that Diva also has a weapon. And is a potato. But that's okay, because so is Ramirez. Ramirez shoots herself off of the cliff with the knockback pistol and dies. So now it just leaves Diva and Jonesy. Now, for some reason, despite the fact that it is daytime now, the Fortnite still hadn't shown up for the two of them. They reestablished friendly nature because somebody just died. Ice heart for sadness and love. Looking down to see Sentinel's damaged body. And Diva weeps for their comrades. And the fox digs. So, it's at this point that Diva decides that she's going to go down the mountain. Again, just really quick speed this up. So, she slides down the mountain, luckily with building materials. Ignore that, that's the storm. Grabs his drum gun and stuff, and makes her way back up the mountain. Jonesy moves the hoverboard. But that's when Rox comes into play. Rox isn't part of the story until now. So Jonesy has his back to the person coming up, assuming that it's Diva coming back from grabbing Sentinel's stuff. But it isn't. It's a new player. Jonesy doesn't have a weapon or mats, so he builds to protect himself, but he can't. And it's at this moment that Diva comes up. Diva tries to avenge her fallen comrades, but also dies, leaving only Rox, the random third party, or more, seventh party in this story, to collect everybody's loot and pick up the Fortnite. And that is where we end our story.